Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for a moment of silence.
Before we begin today's show, results of yesterday's student government elections are in, and now here are the results. Starting with the class of 2019, President Carly Wolfkale, Vice President Kylie Marr, Secretary Joe Moore, and Treasurer Will Ferguson. For the class of 2018, President Will Milne, Vice President Lauren Cunningham, Secretary Panashi Chakava, and Treasurer Luke Lale. And finally, for the class of 2017, President Brandon Blumenhurst, Vice President Chandler Sanzone, Secretary Emily Dykstra, and Treasurer Sarah Auger. Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you to everyone who voted. And now here is HHS In Depth.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, April 15th, and time for an all-new HHS In Depth. I'm Casey Stanley.
And I'm Joey Quell.
Today's show includes stories about longtime assistant principal Mr. Lake leaving Homestead to take a new job within the district.
The school's hallways have recently underwent a facelift. You'll learn who was behind the new art decorating our walls and what's to come in the future.
We'll take a look back at our annual Spring Arts Week festivities, which ended this morning with the convocation.
And Austin Render is back with another sports corner. This week, he'll check in with our girls' tennis team.
We'll have all of those stories and more, so stay tuned for another edition of HHS In Depth. We start today's show with a story about longtime assistant principal Mr. Lake, who left his position at Homestead to take another job within the district. Reporter Nathan Vasquez recently caught up with Mr. Lake to talk to him about his new job and reflection of his time here at Homestead.
News spread quickly once students returned from spring break that assistant principal Mr. Lake had taken another job in the school district as the transportation director, taking him outside the halls of Homestead, a place he's been for a very long time.
I started at Homestead High School in 7th grade back, it was 76, I believe, in 1976. So back then Homestead was a 7 through 12 school. So my first experience at Homestead was in 7th grade, obviously, and that was quite a few years ago.
After he graduated from Homestead in college, Mr. Lake found himself with the opportunity to return, this time as a teacher and a coach.
One of my teachers that I had was retiring and called me up and said, hey, you need to come out and apply for my position because I'm retiring. And it was an opportunity for me to come teach in my old school and coach for some of the coaches that I played for. So that was exciting. So I came back and applied and got the teaching job, and I helped coach football and track for many, many years, for about 17 years.
After being a part of Homestead for nearly his whole life, Mr. Lake felt that this new job was the perfect opportunity to make a career change in a way to still be connected to Homestead High School.
It was time. I mean, it's time for a change. And someday when you get a job and you're working at a job, you'll know at a certain time, it's time for something challenging, something different. And that's kind of where I'm at. And the fact that I could stay in Southwest and still be a part of, I'm going to come to football games, I'm still going to come to basketball games, I'm still going to be a big part of Homestead High School. But now I can be a big part of Southwest Allen County schools. I can be a big part of the elementary schools and the middle schools too.
As the new transportation director, Mr. Lake will be in charge of all the buses and bus drivers in the school district. But he has made it clear that he still wants to be seen and involved in all schools.
I'd like to get back in the buildings and talk to the kids about, safety on buses and being safe around schools when you're getting on buses. Most of the high school kids are already in tune with that, but I'll be going into the elementary schools and the middle schools and talk to them about school safety and bus safety. They shouldn't see a lot of change, but the most important thing is that they don't see a lot of change. That they get to school, that's the most important thing. They get here safe, and it's a good environment.
So after nearly 30 years of being a faculty member here at Homestead, Mr. Lake is leaving the building, but he still sees himself coming back to Homestead quite often.
I'm going to try to come back in the building as much as I can. I really like working with high school kids. And you guys know, I'm always, when I talk to kids in the hallway, I'm always giving them a hard time. It was a tough decision to make to leave Homestead, especially after 29 years of working here. That's just working here.
Principal Mr. Ginder feels that the next assistant principal is going to have big shoes to fill with Mr. Lake's departure.
He's been at Homestead forever, if you want to think of it that way, as a student and as a teacher, as an administrator. So it is a big loss. It's a great opportunity for him, and it's a chance to do something new. And I think as adults, we understand that sometimes just having a new opportunity is good for us. You'll find that out in your own careers as you grow up. Their first job, second job, third job isn't going to be the one that you have later. And this is just a great opportunity, and we're really happy for him.
So even though Mr. Lake will no longer be an assistant principal here at Homestead, the good news is he will still be working in the school district. Mr. Lake wanted us to reiterate how much he loves Homestead High School and all the people in it, and to not hesitate contacting him still. Reporting for HHS In-Depth, I'm Nathan Vasquez.
The results for prom court nominations are in, and here's your 2016 prom court. The following girls have been nominated: Shauna Bowser, Meredith Gray, Taylor Harmon, Carissa McLaughlin, Callie Moran, and Ella Rupright. And now here are the boys that have been nominated for the prom court: Matt Anderson, Brandon Blumenhurst, Evan Castle, Sam Dvorak, Drew Kazai, and Mark Slovin. Congratulations to all who made it.
AP test takers, you must attend a pre-registration session prior to testing. You only have to attend one session. Sessions will be held on Tuesday, April 19th at 7 a.m., Wednesday, April 20th at 2:45 p.m., Thursday, April 21st at 7 a.m., and April 21st at 2:45 p.m. All sessions will be held in the cafeteria. Once again, you must attend one of these sessions and complete paperwork prior to testing.
Are you a musician interested in performing on Poem in Your Pocket Day? The Media Center is looking for a couple of students or groups, and you do not have to have vocals to perform. See Ms. Detter in the Media Center for details. Also, start getting your poems together to decorate the windows of the Media Center.
You may have noticed a few new hallway decorations that were installed during spring break, but do you want to know the story behind those? Reporter Brooke Ann Hensley brings you the story.
When you return from spring break, you may have noticed the new wall art around the building sporting Spartan heads and school logos. But did you know that only 2 students spearheaded this new idea to make Homestead High School a more spirited place?
The new artwork you see in the hallways was actually the idea of the student government, and you thank Samuel Donaco and Brandon Blumenhurst. They did a ton of work with a couple of different companies, narrowed the ideas down, and you're just starting to see some of the things that will be developed or have been developed and will be implemented or put up on the walls in the next few weeks.
Junior Brandon Blumenhurst, along with senior Sam Donaco, are the 2 students behind the wall decor and are excited about what's to come in the future.
Where we're at right now is phase 1. So we want to keep building up on what we've done in the past. So even though it may not be extreme now, it should be much more broad over the next few years.
Both Brandon and Sam were inspired for this project during a student government seminar they were both a part of last year.
Sam and I, after we went to a student government retreat, we actually saw that school beautification was one of the top priorities on our list. And so Sam and I both wanted to be a part of this and really get involved. So we started meeting with Mr. Ginder last year just to kind of get the main idea of what we wanted to do approved by him.
Brandon and Sam's idea of promoting more Spartan spirit in our hallways was partly derived from getting rid of most of the bare white walls that we have in our hallways currently.
What we're doing is we're trying to incorporate more of a feeling of Spartan pride here at Homestead because we've all walked the halls and basically seen just the blank white walls, and it's basically just blank. There's nothing up there. So we wanted to actually do something that would brighten up the halls of Homestead and further embrace the pride of being a Spartan.
Still, there is one major reason why Homestead is using an outside company to put up the new wall art instead of relying on any of our talented student artists.
You know, we chose to go with professional things for a reason. Part of the problem with going with student created objects is once student created artwork goes up on the walls, it becomes kind of hard to take it down because that person invested time and there's some emotion tied to it. The professional objects that were chosen to be put up we can take those down and nobody's got a real tie to it, or we can move them to a different location. So I would continue to expect it to be done in a similar fashion to what you see on the walls today.
So as you make your way through our halls towards your next class, you should be seeing a lot more wall decor installed this year as well as into the future. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Brooke-Ann Hensley.
The first tryout practice for next year's Homestead Color Guard will be held Monday, April 25th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Additional practices will be held April 26th and 27th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. The tryout audition will take place on Thursday, April 28th. The routine for the audition will be taught during these practices. No experience is needed. Next year's freshmen through senior girls are invited to try out. Please wear comfortable clothes that you can dance in. Students should meet in the Homestead High School main gymnasium. Go out and join the fun and be a part of the proud tradition of excellence.
Registration for intramural flag football at the Jorgensen YMCA ends today. Team packets are due back to Mrs. Matthias by the end of the day today.
We are at the end of Homestead's annual Spring Arts Week, and here's reporter Katie Marr with a fun video recap.
The convocation this morning marked the end of Spring Arts Week, but here's what you missed if you did not get the chance to see the art gallery or attend the NHS Coffee House earlier this week. The entire Visual and Performing Arts Department wants to thank the students and staff at Homestead for allowing them to showcase their hard work this school year and making this such a special event once again this year. For HHS In Depth, I'm Katie Marr.
Audio Aficionados is back next Monday at 2:45 in room 600B for Husker Du, a post-punk rock band from Minnesota.
Austin Render is back with an all-new sports corner. This week, Austin profiles the Homestead girls tennis team.
Hello Homestead, I'm Austin Render and it's time for another edition of the Sports Corner. This past Monday, the girls tennis team got their season started by defeating Blackhawk Christian 3-2. I was able to go to a practice earlier this week to talk to the girls and see how things are shaping up.
The girls' tennis team is coming off of Monday's match against Blackhawk Christian with confidence and excitement.
Our first match went really well. It was my first ever match as a varsity player, so it was really cool to get out there and just experience a different caliber of play, and I think everyone did a really great job, and we have a lot of points to work on and move forward from here and just get better.
Our first match went fairly well. It was a little rough coming off of spring break, but I'd say our morale was up and we gave the Blackhawk Christian girls a good run.
With every sports team, there's always something they have to work on. Being early in the season, the girls' tennis team is still working hard to improve their games.
The one thing I'd like to improve this year is definitely my confidence before and during a match. Since tennis is basically a mental game, I think that would really help me.
This year I'm trying to improve a lot on my mental game and not getting in my head so much because it interferes with the game a lot.
This year, being my first year playing singles on varsity, I'm trying to work on finishing the point strong and getting those aces when I serve.
As a team, I think we're all working on achieving a greater standard as a team as a whole and not just varsity, and just making sure that we're all out to support each other and everyone's supporting one another as they play, because it's a big deal when people don't show up, or it's kind of an underrated sport, so we need at least our teammates to be there for us.
The girls' tennis team has high aspirations for the season to come.
Goals for the team, I would say Canterbury for sure, Carroll, we play them twice, Doinger, we play them twice, but just the smaller games that we play, sticking those out strong, not letting it get to our heads.
I think we need to improve our record from last year, definitely as a team.
Some of our team goals this year, I would say, is to win sectionals and possibly beat Canterbury and Carroll.
I think our goal is to obviously go out and win matches, but also to just create a greater team bond and just get to know everyone and just come out here and have some fun.
The girls' tennis team will be at the Warsaw Invitational tomorrow and back at home next Tuesday versus Leo at 4:30 p.m.
Earlier this week, Lady Spartans standout Carissa McLaughlin won the Tiffany Gooden Award for the best player in the SAC this past season. Carissa averaged 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game this past season. Carissa was also named third-team AP All-State earlier this week. Other basketball players named to honorable mention for girls basketball were junior Madison Parker and senior Savannah Buck. And for boys, Taj Curry was also named honorable mention. Also this week, standout cross-country star Braden Law, who finished runner-up at state this past season, signed to continue his education at Michigan State University. Congratulations to Braden and good luck as you continue on in your journey. In other Homestead sports news, the baseball team saw 2 more seniors signed to continue their playing careers in college earlier this week. Senior catcher Brady Sheehan signed with IPFW, while senior shortstop Drew Lunsford signed with Hope College. Speaking of Brady Sheehan, he hit 2 home runs, while Matt Anderson hit another as the Spartans beat rival Huntington North 11-3 on Tuesday evening earlier this week. The Spartans head to Cathedral in Indianapolis for a doubleheader tomorrow. Also this weekend, girls tennis at Warsaw Invitational at 9 a.m. Softball takes on Blackford at 10 a.m., followed by a doubleheader with Muncie Central afterward. Boys track and field are at the Northside Relays at 10 a.m., girls track and field is at Marion High School at 11 a.m., and boys golf is at Warsaw Invitational starting at 11 a.m. Get out there and support your Spartans this weekend. Reporting from the Sports Corner, I'm Austin Render.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Casey Stanley.
And I'm Joey Quell. Thanks for watching today.
And now, here are this week's Pictures of the Week. Congratulations to this week's winners, Junior Evie Boltemeyer and Sophomore Jayling Arata.
To submit your photo for Picture of the Week, just email a high-resolution photo with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.